The question is, how do we know which of our stories then from our resume, which of our accomplishments from our resume need to go in our personal statement? And for me, the way that I work and help students is that your personal statement needs to have a strong focus, a strong grounding in why law and why now. What is the driving force? What's the theme that is pushing you through? And what's the development of the arc, the development of the passion that shows me unequivocally that law school is the very next right step for your career and future? And so the way that I help students with this is, of course, through outlining. You guys already know. I love a good outline because I believe if you don't have an outline for your essay, you're just not going to have a good essay, right? You just can't. You can't have a good essay, or not as good an essay as you could have, if you don't spend time really doing some of that pre-drafting, pre-writing, and pre-planning. And in that pre-drafting and pre-planning, you will get to understand that you can't put all 10 of your accomplishments into your personal statement. Now, usually a personal statement can fit 3, maybe 4 examples in it. Now, some of those are going to be full stories. Some of those might just be brief mentions, cameos, if you will, right? And those mentions kind of still help us move the story along. And some of your resume accomplishments might just be a mention in your personal statement and not a full story. But when you are looking at your resume, ideally, you will have done a full brainstorm. We always suggest doing a full brainstorm for personal, diversity, optional statements, brainstorming all the significant moments in your life, personal and professional, accomplishments and obstacles and setbacks. And so you have this full breadth of stories to choose from, some of which, like I said, will be in your resume, and some of them, they won't be on your resume. And you'll be able to choose the 3 or 4 stories that will really create this narrative for you. You want it to be on theme. You want to show a theme and connection between your stories. And also you want to be mindful that you don't need to show the same thing twice. And this is what really, I think, more than separates your resume from your personal statement. I mean, there's lots of things that separate your resume from your personal statement. But in your resume, especially for a law school resume, you've got 2 pages. We're really putting it all on there. And sometimes we do roles and we have internships that are similar. They had a similar takeaway for us. We might have learned a different skill or 2. We might have been in a slightly different context, but it didn't necessarily change our passion for the law. It might have just continued to solidify it, which is different from some experiences that really change our perspective, that shift where we want to go, that open our eyes to an issue, that reveal something in us. So when we're looking at choosing examples and choosing accomplishments and experiences from our resume, we want to make sure that we don't have 2 experiences that kind of show the same thing, 2 experiences that had the same takeaway for us. We can choose one, because one will most likely advance the narrative of the personal statement and the other will be duplicative. So every different experience that you choose from your resume needs to advance the narrative of your personal statement, and they should each fall into a different bucket, right? I started here with these thoughts. Then I learned something in this experience that shaped and changed how I thought. And then I learned something in this experience that shaped and changed or solidified or strengthened my desire that ultimately made law school the very next step on my career journey, right? We have that progression and that arc. And you will find as you're looking at your resume that you might have a couple of experiences that are similar enough that they kind of serve the same purpose in your arc or your journey. You only need to choose one of them for your personal statement. My advice always is to choose the example that has the strongest story, that has something human, right? Something that shows me who you are. Sometimes we have experiences, I've had experiences, internships where I'm like, yeah, I accomplished things, I did things, but if I'm going to be honest with you, I was in a corner and I didn't really talk to a lot of people. I just kind of did my work. I didn't have any meaningful conversations. I didn't do any introspective time. I did things, and that's cool. But I don't really have a story from that internship. That might not be the best example to choose in your personal statement. Now, it might be an aside, it might be a cameo, and it might just live on your resume. As I've said, admissions committees do read your resume. So just because you don't mention something on your resume in your essays doesn't mean it doesn't count, because they're going to read it when they read your resume. And some admissions committees start with your resume, some end with your resume. You never know the reader that you're going to get, but it's going to get read. So you don't need to make sure that you say it over again, because it's going to get read, right? And that's really important. There are also optional essays. A lot of schools have more optional essays now than they used to. And so that there are some experiences that maybe they don't go in your personal statement or a diversity statement, but they might go in a different optional statement. They might go in a scholarship essay, right? You want to be really judicious with where you're choosing your experiences and stories. But if it's something that really doesn't have a story, doesn't have a lot of impact other than, on paper accomplishments, that might not be the best example for a narrative essay. You might want to choose something that, again, really shaped who you are, changed your perspective, made you think deeper, you had a meaningful connection with someone, and that advanced your story and advanced your desire to go to law school. So hopefully that's helpful as you're thinking about ways to make your personal statement not a resume. Some other quick tips I'll give you is just to focus on impact, right? Focus on impact over that name brand, the award that you won, or that kind of thing. Really focus on that human impact. You want to reflect on your experiences. What did that accomplishment mean? The impact that you made in that experience, how did it make you feel? Those are all really important things to focus on. You want to make sure that all of the experiences that you choose are aligned to your goals and aligned to your overall theme, because sometimes you do something really impressive on your resume and it has absolutely nothing to do with why you want to go to law school, the area you want to practice, anything like that. You're like, oh, but it's so cool. That's okay. It can stay cool on your resume, right? Sometimes we do random things. That's okay. Listen, I'm the queen of having side missions, but not every side mission needs to be in your personal statement. Some side missions can just be on your resume and they can be like, oh, wow, that's a really cool side mission she took. And that's okay. Right? So if it's not connected in any way, it's just cool, let it be cool on your resume. Hopefully this was helpful. As always, if you found this helpful, make sure that you're sharing it with a friend. Like and subscribe and follow. We want you to be following us also on our socials at Barrier Breakers Law. And let me know if you have a question, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Send me an email. We love getting emails from you guys, or submit your questions online to bit.ly/breakintolawschool. We want to hear from you and we want to be helpful to you in this application cycle. We are still enrolling students in all of our packages. We have fantastic current and former admission deans and directors here at Barrier Breakers that are willing, excited, ready to help you tackle your personal statement and tell the best version of yourself in all of your essays, not just your personal statement. And all of our packages come with lifetime support throughout law school, mentorship, check-ins, all of that to make sure that you graduate as strong as possible. So we help you from application to graduation. I hope this was helpful. I can't wait to see you guys next time.